Well, the latest now from Hong Kong, and a pro-democracy Hong Kong legislator has called on the United Nations human rights body to investigate what she said were brutal crackdowns and police brutality against demonstrators. And Tanya Chan, a member of Hong Kong's Legislative Council, a lawyer and co-founder of the Civic Party, told the world body how the situation of human rights in Hong Kong had worsened drastically since the protests erupted in June.
Mr. President, I'm Tanya Chan speaking as a Hong Kong legislator, activist and lawyer. Hong Kong on the verge of a humanitarian crisis as police brutality against supporters of the democratic movement escalates. Arrested protesters face physical abuse and humiliation by the police. Why is China sitting here as a member of this Human Rights Council? Thank you.
China's diplomatic mission wrote to the United Nations in Geneva over this weekend, urging it to deny Chang's accreditation for the event. China even termed Chan a convicted criminal, referring to her jail sentence for 8 months for public nuisance offences, which was suspended for 2 years over her involvement in the 2014 Umbrella Movement protests as well. The pro-democracy protests in Hong Kong, which have been going on for the last 100 days, started out as an agitation against the contentious extradition bill, which would have allowed people to be sent to mainland China for trial. The protests have since then broadened into calls for greater democracy and police accountability. And well, in the latest blow for the subway operator that has become a battleground in the anti-Beijing demonstrations, an MTR train has derailed in Hong Kong. That train services near Hung Hom Station have been suspended, and the subway company has urged commuters to use other means of transport. And according to MTR Corporation, the train derailed after leaving a station in the city's Kowloon area. The derailment caused disruption to a network used by nearly 6 million people every day. Local media has reported that one person has been injured. Nearby stations were overcrowded with a backlog of trains unable to move, and trains which normally run at 2-minute intervals were delayed to run at 12-minute intervals. The cause of the incident wasn't immediately clear, but the company has been a target of demonstrators. Lately, many of its facilities have been smashed, and protesters set fire outside stations, which has often served as battlefields between demonstrators and the police. In other news, the data of almost every Ecuadorian citizen has now been leaked online due to a massive security breach. Names, financial information, the civil data of about 17 million people, including 6.7 million minors, was exposed in this leak. The data exposed by the breach was found on an unsecured server, something almost anyone could look at. The security company VPN Mentor found the data on the server of Nova Estrat, an Ecuadorian marketing and analytics firm. Data found included citizens' full names, dates, places of birth, education levels, phone numbers, and national identity card numbers.
Es que es un tema muy delicado, es que es una importante preocupación para todo el gobierno y para el Estado, que estamos trabajando en una investigación que nos permita en las próximas horas.
Well, the breach even included data on the country's President Lenin Moreno and WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. Assange had applied for asylum in Ecuador, spending years in the country's London embassy before being arrested this year by the British police. Assange was issued with an Ecuadorian identity card as part of his application for asylum.
La información, quiero dejar clara, de todos los ecuatorianos está protegida y resguardada. No ha habido un hackeo ni ataques a la ciberseguridad del país. Lastimosamente.
And access to the server has now been restricted after Ecuador's computer emergency security team was alerted. The government is now working on an investigation permitting them to assess who was responsible for the massive data breach.